Hey guys. Okay, so the first thing that I do that really helps a lot is stretching, and especially my back. I pay a lot of attention to my body now and where I'm holding feelings, where I'm holding whether it's anxiety, stress, sadness, like where I feel that at. And that's something that I really wasn't connected with until I had went to the Meadows, and that's one thing that they really taught us to do. So I hold a lot of it in my chest. So something that you can do is just really put your arms back. It seems like you're putting your boobs out, but whatever. And just really feel that release and put your head back. And like in the neck too. So I hold it in my chest a lot, in my neck, and in my back, like in my spine. So I'll do this thing too. Yuko still needs to, I almost kept calling you, I don't know what I was going to call you, but like going all the way down as far as you can and doing and stretching out your spine and the back of your legs. That really helps me a lot. Another thing another thing with stretching instead of doing actual yoga is I know what it's like to want to be in the house all the time and to not want to go out and see people. So I wanted to give you guys really realistic things that you can do without being crazy aggressive and like going out to a yoga class and signing up and going hiking and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, like don't worry about it. Just stretch. Just do something super easy in your house, like where you can literally stand up from right here and do it. Another thing that I really like to do that helps me a lot is seeing a person. I try to make it super fast and super casual, like not overdoing it. People that are easily anxious or depressed tend to be perfectionists, and we think that it has to be perfect. So when we imagine going out with someone, we're like, what can we do to make it the most fun? Oh, we have to be super energetic. We have to be this or that. But it doesn't have to be, and that's just gonna make us more upset. And our friends don't care. They just want to see us. They would rather, instead of it being, once a month or once every few months of seeing us and it being amazing, to see us more often and just hang out. They don't care. They really don't care. Another thing is 10 minutes of doing nothing. Now, this is really important to me, and this is something that I learned to do at the Meadows, is that we didn't have music, we didn't have phones, we didn't have computers, we didn't have TV, just completely unplugging from all of that and just really being with myself, like understanding myself, thinking about myself, what do I need, how do I feel? And it doesn't even have to be meditation, but that's a great idea too, Anthony. But just like really, just unplugging completely and not having to answer to anyone and not thinking about anyone else either. But just really being present and, thinking about ourselves and what we need to do. Before I had went to the Meadows, the only time I had that was literally when I took a shower. And even then, I wanted to put on music. I hated being with my own thoughts. It was terrifying to me. And I didn't want to do that. But by not being with our own thoughts, we are neglecting so many things that we need to think about. And in turn, it's just causing more stress underlying by not thinking about them. So I would suggest being able to get up to an hour. But if you can't do an hour, at least do 10 minutes. Exactly. It's like it's very difficult to even have a moment of silence. We always have the TV going or a scope playing while we do this or that. But it's important to just be able to turn everything off and just be with ourselves. Another thing is eating 3 times a day. I cannot tell you how much eating And I always thought that they were full of shit. I thought that people that said, oh, you need breakfast, I thought it was bullshit. I'm like, bullshit. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that millions of people must be wrong. I don't know why I thought that, but it really is true. For me, I'm such an anxious and depressed person. I cannot tell you how much it completely balances me out if I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Even if it's only something small, it really just evens out. It's like a chemical imbalance when we don't eat. And certain things shoot way up and other things shoot way down. And we're just like there's so many things going like just crazy in our bodies, affecting our minds if we don't keep it balanced. Another thing is drinking a lot of water. It's something that I was really slipping on doing before I went to the Meadows. I was not drinking nearly enough water, and I was drinking a lot of coffee, which, I mean, fine, if you want to have a few cups of coffee, whatever, but that does not replace your water intake. Just because you're taking in a liquid, it doesn't substitute for water. It's so crazy good for you. I cannot tell you how beneficial it is and how much better it makes me feel when I do it. Reading one chapter of a book. So, don't try to set out and like read a whole book. And again, it goes back to the being a perfectionist and trying to do everything all at once. And that's another thing that puts us down, is we feel like we have to do everything in a day. And if we can't do everything, then we're like, I'm not doing anything then. I'd rather have a day where I can get it all done at once. But that's just it's not realistic. It's never realistic to do that. And we have to set super realistic goals of things that we can accomplish each day. Because if we don't set goals like that, then we're going to feel like failures. Every day, we're going to be like, why didn't we read that whole entire book? And that's just not a realistic thing to do. Another thing is have a routine as much as possible. This is something that I was a little bit good at, but it still wasn't great. And another thing that I didn't have in my routine was taking out time for me. It was like work, and it's important to have not only a set routine, but have a set routine where we're really doing things just for us. Even if it's just the things that I mentioned, or even setting a time to watch TV, like making sure you have that hour in the evening just for yourself. You have to schedule that. You have to make sure that when you're scheduling things, scheduling things just for yourself is just as important. And I almost made this mistake yesterday where I almost took away the time, my 2 hours in the evening. I almost took that away from myself. But I had to remember, I have that time scheduled for a reason. And that time is just as important, more important than any money-making time or anything. Because if we don't have that time for ourselves, then we're going to start getting in a really bad place, and we're not going to be able to make any money at all. Another thing is pick a positive affirmation for the day. So, and then something about positive affirmations that I learned is if you say something enough times, I forget the scientific names for this, but there's little connectors in your brain of where memories are stored. And so if you told yourself enough times, I'm not smart enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not smart enough, it literally makes a connection in your mind that you're not smart enough. So you can do a positive affirmation to reset that, right? Neurons, or I don't even know, Anthony. But if you do a positive affirmation, I am smart enough, I am smart enough, I am smart enough, it literally unhooks these little connect, like fibers that connect to each other in your brain. And if you say the opposite enough times, it literally unconnects that. There's a physical thing that happens in your brain, and it unhooks them. And when you say a positive affirmation, it creates a new one and hooks that one together. So you can try that. So for my positive, that's what I'm going to use for my positive affirmation for the day. I'm going to say I am smart enough. And I'm going to be doing a class when I get back to Indiana. I'm not going to start a full-time student yet. Yeah, like Synapse. I'm going to be starting one class just to, because again, we want something obtainable. We want to know, because my perfectionist self, I'm like, I want to go full time. I want to do this. I want to do a crazy schedule and get a, intense degree. But it's like, just start with one and go from there, because I know I can ace one class. I know I can get an A in one class. I know I can do that, and I know that's obtainable, and I know it's only going to take X amount of time out of the day, and I'm going to tell myself that I am smart enough because I know I can, and it literally helps reset our brains when we do that. Okay, now that we got those out of the way, let's do a little meditation thing if you want. If you don't want to, you can go, whatever. Or you can like make jokes on the screen of how stupid you think this is. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do, let me set this up here. I'm gonna set pillows behind me. You wanna sit straight, and it's important not to cross your legs. Don't cross your legs, don't cross your arms, because by keeping yourself open, you're literally keeping yourself open to receiving things that are coming into you. And then another thing that we want to do is have our feet on the ground. Plant them and have them grounded. Okay, we're going to start by taking some deep breaths, and you want to breathe into your belly, not into your chest. Breathe as much as you can and feel your stomach expand. So we're going to start breathing. And breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's try doing 5 of these. So that was the first one. And just imagine that as tension literally leaving your body, because it is. When you take the time out to close your eyes and breathe in, and just feel where all of this tension is being held in your body, and let it out. Now let's just do one more. And we're just going to keep on breathing. And let's focus on our head. Let's focus on any pain or stress that we're holding there. Starting with the top of our head and working our way down. Let's relax that jaw. That's a place where I always hold. A lot of tension is in that jaw. Grinding it, clenching the teeth together, and just let it go and let it relax as we breathe. And I don't like my meditation things to last a long time, so we're going to work through this quickly, because we can do anything for about 3 minutes. We're going to work our way down to the neck. Feel that tension that we have in the neck, everything that we're holding there. And just let our heads go and relax. Our neck doesn't have to be that tense. We can let that go. Go down to the shoulders. And roll out those shoulders. We're holding so much there. From that jaw clenching and that neck being stiff. Our shoulders hold so much. Down to our arms. Down to our fingertips. Can you feel that? Can you feel how tense we keep our body? Just let it go. It's amazing how tense we keep it when we don't have to. But we're just holding so much stress there when we're thinking about things. It's crazy how much we hold in there just to let it go. And just down our spine, everything that we're holding in there, just to let it relax. Completely let that relax. And down to the stomach. Often there's a lot of churning going on in there. We can feel it. We can feel it in the stomach. And mine, it kind of works up to the chest. And it's just this kind of like influx. We can put our hands on there. Put a hand on the chest and put a hand on your tummy. And let yourself know that it's going to be okay. You don't need to feel that. You can let it go. You can let it expel with that breath. Maybe a few more times because we hold so much here. And then go down. Tummy, hips. Women tend to hold a lot here. Like we hold a lot of pain in our hips. We hold a lot of energy there. I think because there's so much fertility and just a lot of like guilt that we hold down here. And we can just let it relax and let it go and feel love here instead. I've never had a therapist say that to me before. I don't know where that just came from. I must just feel that in my heart. But instead of feeling pain and shame here, we can just embrace it and feel love. Let's just take a moment to feel that, whatever it is that we're feeling there. And love it because it's part of us. And work down to our legs. Oh man, I love leg massages. That always feels so good. I don't know why I hold so much in my legs and in my knees. And down to our feet that are planted on the ground. And then feel from the ground, from the earth, it come up and ground us and grab a hold of us. Imagine that it's grabbing a hold of our lower legs and just pulling us in and grounding and keeping us steady. Because we're steady. We're so much more stronger and steady than we realize we are. Okay, I like it to be fast. People spend a whole 10 minutes doing that. I don't like to spend 10 minutes. But while we're calm and while we're relaxed, I want us to think about something that we can take away from our days. What's something that's stressing us out that we don't want to deal with anymore? Is it, something on our to-do list that we know is just never going to get done? What's just something crazy we said, like something in the home that we said we're going to fix, but it's just like, if we're not going to do it, if it's been on there for a year, just cross it off. Don't worry about it. It's just, because all it's doing is it's being a to-do list to stress us out. Just cross it off your list. Let it go. Are we losing that 50 pounds, but we're not going to lose that 50 pounds? Just let it go. It's fine. Do that. Something else is stressing us out. What is it? Something on the computer? A folder we said that we're going to get to or go through and we haven't done that? Cross it out. It's fine. It'll be fine. Negativity on the internet. What's something that we can do to take away that negativity on the internet? Not look at it anymore, maybe. Just really not look at it. Not tell ourselves we're not going to look at it, but do it anyways. Just really not look at that. And not do it. If it's the out replies on Twitter and it's stressing us out too much, take a week. You don't have to tell yourself you're not going to look at it ever again, but at least just take a week and don't do it. Feels good. I like that. That was fun. I like to do that. I do that every day. You need a nap now? Yeah, I love. Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you. I'm so relaxed now. Now I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna go order food because I've earned it. I've went a few days without eating out. I've been eating TV dinners, so that's the way I'm gonna treat myself today. Every day, whether it's a bath, or looking at a magazine, just whatever a pleasure is for you that day that's not TV. Something that is fun for you. Make sure you do something good for yourself each day. Okay, I'm gonna go eat now. Gonna go order some breakfast. Yum yum. I love you guys. See you later.